Okay, so guys, now we said that, okay, chalo, we still need to see how is the detection done. So guys, always remember whenever we talk about the AIDS virus, okay, so the detection, okay, the detection is best done by two things. Okay, so the first method is called as your ELISA, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Okay, ELISA, this is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Okay, this is ELISA. And guys, this is like, really, really sensitive technique which can identify. And second thing, guys, so initially what we do is we are going to try to run this ELISA and we are going to try to find out that, oh, are the antibodies and all going to be present in your body, or are the antigens going to be present in your body? Once we know that thing, okay, once this ELISA test comes positive, now there may be a possibility that it may be a false positive, meaning sometimes things may interfere with your test, and because of that, what may happen is it may turn out to be positive, right? So now, guys, we want to have a confirmatory test, and that confirmatory test, this is done by your Western blot. Okay, always remember Western blot, this is going to be for your proteins, guys. Okay, so this is going to give you a confirmatory test, and if this is also positive, then definitely you are going to be positive. Okay, HIV positive. Okay, but then, guys, okay, we said, okay, we still need to know how the entire thing really looks like. Okay, so let's try to see how the structure is going to be like. So guys, you're going to see that the virus, it is going to be something of this sort. It has two coats. Okay, so let's say this is the outer coat, this is the inner coat, something like this. Okay, so the first thing, guys, you are going to see that here, this thing, whatever we are drawing, guys, this is nothing but the lipid. Okay, the lipid is the fat coating that is present out over there. That's it. Okay, so the first is your lipid. Okay, now the lipid coat, guys, this is going to hold inside two more things. Okay, okay. So now, see, the thing is, guys, we are going to see. Okay, so inside this it is going to hold two more codes. Okay, but the two codes, they are going to be your protein codes. So guys, the first line, the first circle that we have drawn, this one, this is going to be your outer protein code. Okay, so first we have the lipid code, then we have on the inner side the outer protein code. Okay, and outer protein code, guys, what do we call this thing? We call this thing as the P17. Okay, P17 code. Fine. After this P17 code, guys, we are going to have one more code which is going to be present inside. Hey, one second, this is also your protein code only. So now we say this is going to be your inner protein code. What is the number? This is going to be P24. Okay, this is known as P24. Now, guys, what are these numbers? These are nothing but these are numbers of your proteins. Okay, basically, what type of protein, how it is going to be, all that thing. Guys, we also call this P24 as your capsid code. Okay, this is also known as capsid code. Fine. But now, guys, while this thing is happening, what are we also going to see? You are going to see that there are going to be certain knobs. Okay, so knobs, let's try to see. So you're going to see two types of knobs. One, the first type of knobs, guys, the protein knobs. Okay, they are going to be present only on the lipid part, like this. Okay, they come from the lipid part only, like this. Okay, these knobs, okay, we call them as the GP120 knob. Okay, so this is GP120. Okay, remember the GP120, this is going to be only on the top. Okay, and guys, this is very, very important. Huh? Otherwise, you'll forget this thing. So this is GP 120. Okay. And now, guys, you are going to have the second type of knobs, which are going to be from the inner protein, the outer protein code. Okay. So you are going to have some other ones which are going to be coming like this. Okay, from the inner side, but then from the outer protein code. So let's imagine something of this sort. Now, what are these ones? These knobs, these are called as the GP41. Okay, so GP120 and GP41. This is going to be how the outer thing is going to look like. But now, guys, we need to go back inside this and we need to see how are things going to look inside. So, guys, the moment we go inside, what are we going to see, guys? We are going to see that it is going to have its nuclear material. Okay, so you're going to have the nuclear material. Nuclear material of what? Nuclear material is going to be your RNA. So you are going to have actually, guys, the single-stranded RNA, ssRNA, single-stranded RNA. So there are like two strands of your single-stranded RNA like this. And guys, along with this, what else are you going to see? Inside, you are going to see an enzyme, and this is the most important enzyme, guys, and that is nothing but reverse transcriptase. And guys, because of this reverse transcriptase, what have we said? You can convert the DNA into RNA, RNA into DNA once again. Okay, so reverse transcriptase, this is how that entire structure is really going to appear like, guys. Okay, so guys, this question will be asked for 2 marks. Okay, either 2 marks or either 3 marks for drawing. Okay, just have a look if everybody is okay with this thing, guys. Okay, chalo. But now, guys, let's try to move ahead and let's try to see the next part. So, guys, this was the last infection that we had to cover. Okay, so with this, we are done with the entire infection. So now we can just move ahead with the next part. The next part, that is, what is adolescence? Okay, so guys, let me just give you an idea how things really work in our life. Okay, what is that entire lifespan? Okay. Sorry. Just a moment, guys. Let me have some water. So, guys, one more thing, guys. So, see, guys, because this HIV has this reverse transcriptase, that is why we call these as retroviruses. Okay. So, in your exams, they may ask you some examples of a retrovirus. Okay. So, who are the two most important retroviruses? One is your HIV, and the second is HPV, human papilloma virus. You remember we had already talked about this thing. This was your cervical cancer. Okay, so these two. So keep this thing in mind. Okay. Okay, fine. Chalo. But now let's try to move into your adolescence and let's see what is adolescence, how does it, come about, what really happens in this thing. Okay, so guys, generally when we talk about adolescence, what are we really talking about? We are mostly talking about the age where you are going to be teenagers. Okay, so roughly this is going to last from 10 to 19 years of age. Okay, that is roughly your adolescence. And guys, this also adolescence can be divided into three more parts. So first, we are going to have early adolescence where we are looking at 10 to 14 years of age. Then is it is going to be your mid adolescence, that is going to be 15 to 17. And finally, it is going to be late adolescence, where we are going to have 18 and 19 years. Okay. But once again, let me give you an entire idea, guys, how things are really going to work in your life. So let's imagine, guys, you are born. Okay. Let's say you are born, you are going to be an infant, then you're going to be a child. Okay. So let's say you are born, you are going to be an infant. Basically, you're going to turn into a toddler, then you're going to turn into a child. Okay, let's say you have reached 10 years of age. Okay, now guys, what happens is by around 10 or 11 years, now suddenly you are going to see that puberty starts striking you guys. Okay, so especially it starts from 11 years. Now you're going to see that in females, okay, you are going to get puberty. Okay, so what do I mean by puberty, guys? You are going to see all the secondary sexual characters like popping out. Okay, so whether it is a change in the voice, whether it is change in the body structure, whether it is change in the height, whether it is change in the mammary glands, development of them. Okay, so all that thing is going to happen right since you're 11 years. Okay, now then as we move ahead, guys, you are going to see that let's imagine we have reached 13 years of age. Okay, so if we have reached 13 years of age, guys, you're going to see that at this time, generally males tend to attain their puberty. Okay. Once again, guys, it is not a hard and fast rule that you are going to get puberty at these times only. No, it is not that way. Okay, but remember, you know, most of the time, generally, just a second. Most of the times, generally, it happens that way. Okay, however, it is not a hard and fast rule. You may get puberty a little later also. Sometimes you may get it a little earlier as well. Okay, and by the age of 13 years, guys, okay, this is the time where you're going to get the first menses in females. Okay, so I will just mention that, okay, by the age of 13 years, in females, we are going to get the first menses. So that is called as your menarche. Okay, so we have menarche, and then by the age of 45, you are going to have menopause. Okay, so that way. Okay, anyways, so now from 13 years, guys, and now you're going to see that, oh, you are going to be a teenager, a complete teenager. This is going to last until like you're 18 and 19. And then finally, after this, you are going to grow into your adult. Adult is then going to grow old. Old person is then going to die. In between, he's also going to reproduce and continue the same cycle. So generally, guys, when we talk about your 13 to 19 years, okay, so starting from your 12 years, this is nothing but your teenagers. Okay, but when we talk about your adolescence, guys, adolescence is going to cover everything from here, guys. Okay, so it is going to cover everything. So this is adolescence. That is a slight difference. Okay, so guys, this is what we need to know with regards to adolescence, the initial. Okay. But now let's try to move ahead and let's try to see what are the different kinds of changes that the body is going to undergo when you are going to, come across this you know, adolescence, like, when puberty is really going to strike you. So, like I said, guys, mm, especially in the case of your females, you're going to see, like, from 10 to 11 years of age, you're going to start getting puberty. In males, it is a little later. Okay, but now what happens? What is going to be the striking changes? Let's try to figure this thing out. Okay, so let's try to see what are the secondary sexual characters. Yes, HIV is a retrovirus. Okay, so now guys, let's try to see what are the secondary sexual characteristics. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now, guys, let's try to see what are the different sexual, secondary sexual characters in your humans. Okay, so let's say we are talking about males, and then we are going to have females. Okay, so guys, what are you going to see? See, when you were born, okay, were you born with a mustache? Were you born with a beard? No, you're not born with your facial hairs. But then slowly, like, as you started growing, suddenly there was an outburst and you started getting mustache and beard. So these are, like, your main secondary sexual characters. So we are going to see the development of beard. We are going to see the development of your mustache. Okay. Then as we move, as we move ahead, guys, what are you going to experience? You're going to experience that the shoulders, they become wide. Okay, in males, okay, the shoulders are wide and the hips, they are going to be narrow. Okay, that is how it is going to be. But then in the case of female, it is going to be exactly the other way around. Okay, then what happens, guys? Once again, you are going to see the chest becomes wide. Next, you are going to be a little bit muscular. Okay, now what happens? We are going to have the larynx. The larynx is going to develop. And now, as the larynx develop, guys, how is the voice going to be? The voice is going to be low pitched. Low pitch voice meaning what? Okay, so it's going to be like, hi, hi, Sarah. Hi. So that is going to be low pitched voice. Okay. So as opposed to this, guys, females, they are going to have a completely shrill voice. Something of that sort. Okay. So where you are going to have, like, when females fight, you must have heard like how the voice becomes, it's shrill, it is painful, it is hurtful. That is the, the shrill voice that we're talking about. Okay. Along with this, guys, earlier, if you remember, okay, like when you were a kid, like let's say you were in fifth standard or fourth standard, at that time, guys, if you would have ever looked into your armpits were completely clear. There was nothing. But today, guys, if you look into your armpits, there is Amazon forest. How come? How did this thing happen? Once again, because of your uh, puberty only. Guys, armpit is still fine. But what about your soft? But today, once again, what is out over there? There is pastures and grazing places, right? How did it happen? It happened because of your puberty only. Guys, armpit is still fine. But today, once again, what is out over there? There is okay, suddenly you're going to see hair in the armpit, guys. Hair in the armpit, and suddenly hair in the groin region. Guys, these are some important things that are going to happen immediately. Okay, then after that, guys, so these are the changes that guys, you can visualize. Okay, we can see it. But along with this, there are going to be some other changes, okay, which other people cannot see, but you can understand. So like that, guys, see, when you were born, guys, was your penis a little bigger like how it is today? No, it was like small, small minuscule thing, right? But today you are going to see that as you have attained puberty, the penis develops, it increases in size. And what about the testes, guys? The testes, when you were born, they were like almonds. Now today, are they still the same thing, like chota chota something like that? No, it's not going to be there. Okay, you are going to see that they also develop. So you are going to see the testes also develop. Okay, the testes, the scrotal sac. Along with that, we are going to have all the the accessory glands and all, the prostate gland, whether we are talking about the Cowper's gland, bulbourethral gland. Okay, we are talking about, okay, everything is going to develop out over there. The epididymis, then you talk about them, everything is going to develop out over here. That is what we need to know with regards to secondary sexual characters in your males. But now let's try to equate this with secondary sexual characters in females. How is that going to be? So first, guys, are females going to have facial hair as such? No, it is not so. Okay, you're not going to see a beard, you're not going to see a mustache, unless and until, guys, the person is not suffering from adrenal virilism. Until then, you're not really going to see anything as such. Okay, so no beard here, no beard here, there is going to be no mustache. Guys, in the case of females, are you going to see that muscular build? Hey, 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 hey. No, you're going to see that shoulders, they are going to be narrow. Now, here, how is it, guys? Let's see. You are going to have shoulders which are going to be narrow, but you are going to have hips which are going to be wide. Okay, hips are wide, waist is narrow. Acha, cha, cha, cha. Okay, you are going to see narrow shoulders, narrow waist, but you are going to have wide hips. Now, guys, what does this mean? Guys, you know what? A few years ago, I had absolutely no idea what is the difference between the waist and hips. Because, when we talk about males, in males, it is only one thing. Let's say you have, you go and you're about to buy pants, you're going to see what is the diameter of the pants. Okay, so this can be either 32, it can be 34, it can be 36. Right, that's it, guys. If you're 32, you're going to take this, you're going to just go for that pant and you're going to just use it. That's it. That is it. This is how it works with males. And I was in the same impression since ages. Now one fine day, what happens? Few years ago, guys, it was one of my female friends' birthday, and we had to gift her something. So we had to gift her a pair of jeans. Okay. And now, guys, in Oberoi Mall, there was this shop, years ago. I don't know whether it is still there or not. There was this Jealous 21. Okay. And that shop. Okay. It was on the ground floor, one towards the corner. Now, guys, you know what? When I went out over there with my friends and we were about to select a pair of jeans. Now, you know what? How it happens in males, like, you have 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. Guys, it was not so. You know, in your females, there were like, series of pants like that. Okay? Series of pants which were kept. And they were like third. Okay, and now, guys, you know what? When we were out over there trying to find out a pair of jeans, we were getting different kinds of numbers. Now, guys, you know what? So we were having the waist 30, hips 32, waist 30, hips 34, waist 30, hips 36. And I was like, "ये क्या है बाबा? What is this? ये तो कुछ अलग ही calculation है." Then I realized, guys, in females, things work differently. In females, how it works, even if you have like, the same waist, okay, so the 30 is the waist, but the next number, the 32, it is actually going to be the hips. Because in females, what happens is the hips are going to be wide. So, depending upon how your hips are, guys, you are going to select 30, 32, 30, 34, 30, 36, something of this sort. And guys, this was like really, really confusing kind of thing. I had absolutely no idea until then that, how it works. Okay. But this was an eye opener for me. So, guys, maybe if you are, in your later life, when you will go and buy, like, gifts and all for your females, this will help you out. Okay. But then you guys, this becomes really embarrassing. You cannot ask na somebody what are your measurements. At least some लोग waist पूछ सकते हैं कि waist कितना है. Okay, hips and all like some, it is a little embarrassing to ask. So then we dropped out the plan. Okay, rather than we went on for t-shirts. Okay, anyways, but guys, this is what really happens. You need to be a little aware. Okay, now the next thing is, guys, we are going to see larynx. Now, in females, is the larynx going to develop? No. See, guys, in males, what is going to happen? Let's say you were like this before. Okay, this is your neck before your puberty. Now, what happens, guys? After your puberty, you are going to be like Shah Rukh Khan, ekdam protruding larynx, pachak, full out. Okay? But in females, is it going to happen? No. There is no development of larynx. How is the pitch? The pitch of the voice becomes really, really high. So we say this is high pitched voice. Okay. And the same way, guys, once again, females are also going to experience a growth in the armpit and the groin regions. Okay. These are the changes, once again, guys, you can see taking place inside the body. But then, along with this, you're also going to see some other things. Guys, by the age of 30, what did I tell you? What is going to happen? Immediately, you are going to start with your menses. So, we are going to have menstrual cycle. And guys, you must be quite aware, like, during these menstrual cycles, just before this or just after that, or while you're going through this thing, you are going to be like a volcano. It's just like a ticking time bomb. Guys, anybody says anything, and then there is an outburst of emotions. You are going to be really, really aggressive. You are going to be like ferocious kind of thing. And guys, the other person is gone. Hey, you have to be really, really careful. Guys, when I was a kid, I had no idea what was happening with my mom. Okay, because kids generally they have no idea. Sometimes I used to feel my mom is crazy. Okay, I used to feel, hey, 5 minutes she is good, 5 minutes she is bad, 5 minutes she is sad, 5 minutes she is like she's like a demon. I used to see that all those things happening in my mother, and I used to never understand. Guys, there have been instances where I have just looked up to my dad and I'm like, you know, with an expression, he's me, Lily, he's me, Lily, that kind of a thing, guys. Okay, but then I'm damn sure you are also going to go through the same phases. In fact, your lives are going to be like miserable, guys. Okay, how does it start? It starts like, if your mom is really angry, she's menstruating, or she's going through the menopause. Now, I'm thinking that, you guys are big. So your parents, your mother, she must be reaching the menopause, which is like even deadlier. So now what happens, guys? There is an outburst of mood swings out over there, like in all different niches of mood swings. It starts right from the starting of the day. Even if you have not caught up a little bit, on time for the classes, it starts right now. हेच नाही कळत, झोपायलाच नाही पाहिजे, रात्री अभ्यासच नाही करायला पाहिजे, टाइमपास करायला पाहिजे, नाही कम्प्युटरच बघायला पाहिजे, मोबाईल वरतीच खेळायला पाहिजे. अँड देन इट स्टार्ट. देन उठायलाच नाही पाहिजे, ही शिस्तच नाहीये, हेच नाही, तेच नाही, कम ऑन गेट अप, दिस दॅट, डू दॅट, मेक युअर बेड, मेक युअर, मेक द क्लोथ. And then it's not just related to that, guys. It is going to go beyond that. Then what mistakes you have done in your past life, even those are going to come back again. 10 years ago you did this thing, 15 years ago you did this thing, bachpan mein you did that, you did. And guys, you are going to go damn crazy. Okay, I'm damn sure each one of you is experiencing this thing. Okay, so my condolences to you, but still, this is a little deadly phase. Okay, so guys, you have to be aware. You should learn something from your dad. Always remember, guys, whenever the female says something, when she is angry, she says, what does your dad do? Okay, all right, sorry. That is the first thing that you should learn, guys. Okay, anyways, so then, okay, next thing that you're going to see is development of mammary glands. This is the first instance. Okay, this is the first thing, guys, you are going to experience in a female, that she starts developing the mammary glands. Next, just like how it happened in males, the penis and the testes develop, we will also see the development of vagina taking place. We'll also see the development of the uterus. Okay, so development of the uterus, development of fallopian tubes. Okay, all these things are going to happen, guys. Okay, so this is how your secondary sexual characters are going to be and how they are going to affect your life. Okay, everybody all right with this, guys? Sure, no problem. Okay, now, guys, during your this thing, okay, now I'll just give you a little bit idea about how life is going to be. Okay. Okay. So guys, now what happens is, like, so when you are growing up, okay, right now at this moment, guys, so you have not attained, the entire adolescence. The adolescence is not completed as of yet. Okay, you're still going to be, I believe, 17 years by now, 16, 17, and or 18 at the max. Okay, so what happens is, guys, this is a very fragile period for you. So what happens during this thing, you are going to experience many changes. Okay, many changes in the body. And these are the changes that sometimes you cannot really go and talk to your parents about. So what happens, let's say, for example, hair in the groin region. Okay, so guys, do you think, like, you are so free with your parents that you can tomorrow go and share this thing with your mom or father, that oh, see, something has happened out over here and suddenly there are hair coming out from here? Is it really going to be that way? No. We I think some of you may be open, but most of you, I don't think so. It's a little embarrassing to talk about this. So, guys, what happens, during this phase of adolescence, your body is undergoing a lot of changes. And then suddenly you will think, अरे मेरा body का growth बराबर है क्या? Am I proper? Or is something wrong with me? मेरा something is happening. Now, guys, I'll tell you one of the most important things. In females, what happens is the breast sizes, they are different. Okay, generally what happens is one breast size is a little bigger or one breast is a little smaller. And then females, they are like, in that case, hurry, something is wrong. My both the breasts, they are not like in proper this thing. One is bigger, one is smaller. Oh my God, am I not suffering from something? Oh my God, what is happening with my body? Guys, all those things are going to come up into your mind. Okay, so whether it is your hair in the groin region, the development of the breast, suddenly you're the penis, it is going to it is going to increase in size. It becomes a little embarrassing thing. You cannot just go and tell your parents कि something has happened, kal tak itna tha, then now suddenly it has increased. Guys, these are the changes that are going to happen. And what happens whenever there are changes taking place in your body, guys, you will be a little insecure. Because then what happens, you are going to be in such a situation where you have to face all your friends. They should not know that something is wrong. Okay, or maybe you have no idea. You discuss with friends give you the wrong, yeah, friends will be like, "अरे, तेरे में ही problem है, तेरे में ही problem है." Guys, all these things, they happen. Okay, so at this moment, like in the adolescence, guys, you are going to see different things happening. Plus, you are going to be like in that vulnerable state, where you are starting to develop sexual feelings and sexual development. Then this is the period during which you will be feeling, hey bhagwan, mera is duniya mein koi nahi hai, mere ko bhi koi to chahiye, all my friends are having partners in life, I also need a partner. Guys, all that thing, all that bullshit is going to come in this thing. Okay, but then you are going to fall prey to it, because that is human nature. Okay, and now the next thing that is going to happen, guys, is your entire risk taking abilities are going to be at its peak. Meaning, during this period, guys, during this entire adolescence, you will be having a rush of blood. Okay, and you will be like, no, 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 I want to take this risk, I want to try that, I want to try that. This is the perfect age during which kids are going to be hooked onto drugs, smoking, alcohol. Now, how does it start? See, I've always told you, you will always have a friend, okay, who is already addicted to something. What will he do? He will be like, "Arey, take this, just take one puff. क्या होता है एक puff में क्या होता है कुछ नहीं होता है, just take a puff." And guys, the moment you take one puff of a cigarette, immediately, suddenly you are going to like it so much that you are going to get hooked onto it. And this age, guys, during this age, you are going to be very vulnerable. So now you pick up the habit, and then suddenly it becomes like a bad habit in which you cannot get rid of. This is what is going to happen, guys. Okay, but now during this, guys, who is really going to be there for you, and who should actually be the one, like, who will be comforting you? It should be your parents. And for that, guys, we need to have a good relationship with our parents. So we should be free, we should be in such a position that any changes that are happening, you should be able to convey them to the parents. Okay, because what happens is many a times it happens so that for you guys, you may seem the problem is such a big thing. This is the end of the world. Carlo suicide. No, but there are so many ways out. And always remember, no matter what, okay, even your partner is not going to love you as much as your parents have done. Okay, so always understand that your parents have raised you. So even if tomorrow the partner says, no, 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 I'm not going to be there with you, and you are like, hey bhagwan, mera is dunya mein koi nahi hai, ya khachak, haath kat gaya, ye kat gaya, you fall down. Okay, guys, that is all unwarranted for. Okay, so guys, always need to have a healthy relationship with parents. Keep on telling them what is happening in the life, how things are proceeding. Okay, if you need any kind of comforting, or if you need any kind of mental support, if there are any pressures, all that thing is going to be expected out of parents, guys. So they are going to give you, like, proper stability. That once, guys, the adolescence phase is gone, then what? Now you have completed in you have moved into an adult. Once you are an adult, guys, now what? Now you are going to see that, okay, whatever you have learned throughout your entire life, all those values, principles, customs, traditions, those are going to be hardened in your brain. And then after that, then there are very less chances that you will fall into bad habits, because by now you know what is right, what is wrong, whether you should do it, whether you should not do it. All those things are going to be hardened in your life, guys. So this is how it really works. Okay, But now, guys, I will talk about a little bit about mental health. So, guys, what happens is sometimes because you know you are going through so many changes. Sometimes there may be a possibility that you may not be in a position to handle all of this, and suddenly you may have mental breakdown. Okay, so what is this mental breakdown, or how is this mental health, like poor mental health going to be shown as? Okay, so let me just okay, so poor mental health. And guys, I'm damn sure all of you must have experienced this thing by now. Okay, so this is going to be marked by confusion. So you're going to be confused, ye karo ki nahi karo, karo ki nahi karo, karo ki nahi karo. Then you are going to be continuously irritated. So irritation. Okay, especially females who are undergoing menses, completely irritated. Okay, you are going to have mood swings once again. Like I said, guys, 5 minutes you're going to be good, happy. Next 5 minutes you're going to be sad. Then next 5 minutes you're going to be like really, really angry. You're going to be crazy. Okay, so then it is all going to be okay. Sometimes it's also going to be your frustration. Okay, then maybe excessive anger, etc., and then, guys, this can also give rise to like less concentration, hyperactivity. Okay, it can also lead to, okay, all of these can ultimately lead to your bad eating habits, and then this may result into your obesity. Okay, bad eating habits may result into obesity. Then it can also result into addictions. Okay, and addictions are definitely going to cause ill health. Okay, that is how it is going to be. Okay, but now, guys, during this thing, okay, during this mental disorders, like when you're going to be like really, really stressed, you have no idea what is happening. You may exhibit, okay, certain situations. Those certain things, we say you can exhibit psychosis. Okay, so you can exhibit psychosis. Now, what is psychosis, guys? Psychosis means basically you are going to have delusions, meaning you don't know what is right, what is wrong, what is real, what is false. You can have hallucinations. Okay, delusions, hallucinations. Then you cannot make the right choices. Okay, so all these things are going to happen. This thing, guys, if this is not treated, okay, this psychosis, it can lead to mental diseases like Alzheimer's. Okay, it can lead to Alzheimer's is what, guys? Alzheimer's is where you are going to forget everything. Slowly, your memory is going to be wiped off. It is going to be erased. You have no idea who you are, what you're doing. So there are going to be bouts where there is absolutely no idea. Then there are going to be some bouts where you're going to have little bit of knowledge about who you are and all. So that way. So we have Alzheimer's. This can also lead to, guys, schizophrenia. Once again, schizophrenia is also same thing, guys, where you have no idea what is right, what is wrong, what is real, what is false. Okay, so schizophrenia. And then this all can also result into your depressive psychosis. So okay, so sorry, just a moment, just a moment. Okay, so guys, all this thing is going to happen. But now, guys, you know what? Slowly, what can happen if it is not going to be treated, if you're not going to take care of it, then this can be a little bit more deadly. Meaning, this can result into amnesia. Okay, once again, amnesia, amnesia, loss of memory. This can result into bulimia. Now, guys, bulimia is what? Overeating. Okay, so sometimes, guys, you must have heard of emotional eating. I am not feeling good, so I will start eating. Guys, that is bulimia. Okay, you can have anxiety. Anxiety, you are continuously, like, fearful of, like, what is going to happen, what is how is the future going to be, all that. Guys, you can also suffer from anorexia. Okay, anorexia or anorexia nervosa. Okay, what is anorexia nervosa, guys? Where you are not going to eat only. Okay, so no eating at all. You're going to completely avoid food, and you're going to, like, become so thin that you're like a skeleton. So that way. Okay, so this is what is going to happen, guys. Okay, and finally, this can result into your depression. All this thing is because of your psychosis, basically. Okay, and guys, just like we have psychosis, okay, we also are going to see something called as neurosis. Okay, neurosis, that is nothing but, like, delusions. You have hallucinations, illusions. Okay, schizophrenia, all that thing, guys. Okay, schizo. Okay, so schizophrenia, etc., etc., etc. So all these things, guys, this is what is going to happen. And guys, like I said, during this time, your ability to take risk is really, really high. You are like constantly thinking that, oh, this may be right, this may be wrong. My parents don't know this, as if your parents have been just born. They have no idea how life works. Okay, but then you are always wanting to take a risk, and this is the time when you are going to fall in the hands of wrong company. Okay, and then you get addicted onto your alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, smoking, weed. Okay, all that stuff, guys. Okay, so during this time, okay, you have to be like really, really careful that no, you have to say no to all the bad habits that are there. And how is it going to happen, guys? It is going to happen only when, right through your childhood times, you have been constantly brainwashed that no, alcohol is bad, smoking is bad, doing drugs is bad. Okay, then only this thing is going to come into action. Okay, but now, guys, those who are suffering from this mental illness, okay, is there any treatment there? Yes, there is treatment. Okay, now generally, what is treatment? Treatment includes your supportive care, like, like your young ones who, I mean, your parents or your siblings, they are going to give you good amounts of time. They're going to make sure you're doing good and all that way. Okay, so generally, it is mostly of that sort. But then we have, guys, a program which is there for, those people who suffer from this thing. Okay, we call this thing as mental health gap action program. Just a moment, guys. Okay, so once again, guys, this is nothing but, अरे, ये क्या हो गया? Okay, so we have mental health gap action program. Okay, this is like a supporting thing that is going to help you come out of MHGAP. This is how it is represented as. Okay, so this is going to make sure that you can come out of this depression or neurosis or psychosis. Okay, and once again you can lead a better life. Okay, so this is what we need to know with regards to your secondary sexual characters, guys, and the changes that are taking place in your body and your mental health. Okay, is everybody all right with this thing, guys? Sure, no issues with this. And after this, guys, we are going to move on to the last part of the chapter, that is, your drug, like what is drug dependence and what is addiction, what are the different kinds of drugs that are present, so on and so forth. Okay, is everybody all right, guys? All right until this point? Okay, chalo. So guys, let's take a break over here for 5 minutes. Okay, and after 5 minutes, once again, we'll come back and we'll start with the next part, guys. Okay, chalo guys. So let's move ahead. So next thing, guys. Yeah, we can try dark theme mode, but I don't know how to have that dark theme mode. I was trying that, but I did not get it actually anywhere. Anyways, I will just see once again if I have it. Okay. Okay. I will just try it. I'll just try if I get that thing. Okay. So now let's try to see, guys, the next thing. What are the different types of drugs and how is it going to lead to your addiction? Okay, so guys, when we talk about drugs, there are like different types of drugs which bring about like different kinds of effects in our body. Okay, so I will just roughly give you an idea, like how it is going to be, like what really happens out over there, and so on and so forth. So, guys, once again, like see, generally whenever you talk about addiction, why does it happen? Okay, in the first place it is going to happen because you are not being watched either by your parents or by your siblings or by your grandparents or by your uncles, aunts, whoever it is. So there is no proper, like monitoring of the kid. So what happens, the kids get like ample amounts of free time to explore new things and all, and then that is the time you will feel that, oh, let's try alcohol, let's try smoking, let's try some drugs, let's see if the things work out that way. Okay, so that is one of the major problems. Second thing, guys, even if you are like trying different stuffs and all, okay, still it is fine. But then if there is no communication between what the child thinks and what the parent wants, or between both of them, if there is a discord, then also you're going to see that the child is going to stray away from the parents and he's going to try to find solace in all these things. Okay, then once again, like if there is no proper strictness, if there are like fights in the families, okay, so all these things, guys, you are going to see that the risk taking behavior is going to make sure that you are going to try all these the drugs and all. Okay, so first thing is that. So but yeah, guys, let's say if you are like if you are under pressure and you are like taking drugs, how can you get rid of them? So always remember, guys, like the first thing is never to start. You should have this thing in your mind that drugs are bad for your body, and these are not going to give you a relief or something. This is just going to be a temporary relief or temporary run from the problems. Okay, then another important thing, guys, sometimes you have like yes, your peers, basically your friend circle. Now you should always have some good friend circle, because what happens, like if the friend circle itself is bad, let's say if everybody is addicted to smoking in your friend circle, there are high chances that they are also going to pass a cigarette to you, and they're going to ask you, just take a puff. And then what happens, you have like peer pressure. Then what happens, I'll tell you, like when all the when all the members of the group, they are like doing something and you're not doing, then they're like, "Arey, kya ladki ki tarah kar rahe hai? Arey, le mard ban, mar ban." Okay, now what happens, guys, when they are going to give you these kind of sentences, now you have to prove your masculinity. नहीं तो अपने एकदम इज्जत पे आता है. So then that is the time, when what happens is like, you start, taking all these drugs and all, just to make sure that you fit into that, group. Okay, which is actually wrong, guys. Okay, so you should not do that at all. And another important thing that, we should have like, awareness. Okay, now today there is like huge awareness against drugs and all. Okay, but then education and counseling of people, awareness, making use of media to spread awareness regarding the ill effects of drugs and all. So that is what is going to help people that way. Okay, but now let's try to see, guys, what are the different types of your drugs. Where do we sorry, where do we get this thing from, and what are we really going to do out over here? Okay, sure. So let's try to see a few drugs. Okay, so guys, when we talk about drugs, these drugs we generally obtain them from plant. Okay, and you must have heard of different names for these, but let's try to see. Okay, so guys, the first one we are going to talk about, these are your opioids. Okay, opioids, guys, this is going to come from papaver somniferum. Okay, so this is nothing but your poppy plant, guys. Okay, if you see Afghanistan, Pakistan, they are known for producing these things. Okay, so papaver somniferum. Okay, but now, guys, what is this poppy? Poppy, this is nothing but your charas, ganja, afim, hashish. Okay, so something of that sort, like the charas, ganja, afim, hashish, marijuana. Okay, those are cannabinoids. But just like that, guys, we have the poppy plant from where we are going to get that, uh, uh, the heroin basically. So, guys, this poppy plant, this is going to give us opium. Okay, or we also call this thing as heroin. Okay, so we get heroin from here. Guys, normally this heroin, what is this chemically? This is diacetyl morphine. This is actually diacetyl morphine. Now, if you know something, guys, morphine is a painkiller. So whenever you take this thing, guys, you're going to feel no pain. You're going to feel relaxed. Your heart rate is going to decrease. You feel really, really nice. Okay, that is what heroin does, guys. Okay, in your normal language, in your street language, this heroin is also known as smack. Okay, but now, what is the effect? What is it going to do? So, guys, when we talk about your uh, poppy, that is your opium, guys, opium or heroin, this affects your CNS. Always remember, it affects your central nervous system, and plus, it also affects your gastrointestinal tract. Okay, and now it acts as a depressant. Okay, so, and when I say it is going to act as a depressant, it slows down your entire body function that way. So this is what is going to happen with your opioids. Okay, so this is one class. Second one, like I said, guys, you are going to have cannabinoids. Okay, so cannabinoids, where do we get this thing from? We get this thing from your cannabis sativa, that is the marijuana plant. Okay, so this is from the cannabis sativa. Okay, guys, this cannabis sativa, this is also known as the hemp plant. And guys, keep this thing in mind because in your exams, especially in your NEET exams, they ask you what is this hemp plant and what are the products obtained from a hemp plant. Okay, so what are we talking about, guys? So from this thing, what are we going to get? We are going to get marijuana. Okay, we have marijuana, we have charas, ganja, hashish, weed basically. Okay, what you call it as weed. This. Okay, charas, ganja, hashish. Okay, all of this, guys, where are we going to get this thing from? We get this from the inflorescence of the plant. Okay, so always remember obtained from the inflorescence. Okay, fine. Chalo. And then the last one out over here, guys, we have Coca Alkaloids. Okay. Coca Alkaloids, where do we get this thing from? We get this thing from your erythroxylum coca. Okay, that is the plant once again. So we have erythroxylum coca. Okay, but what is this going to give you, guys? This is the one which is going to give you cocaine. And guys, this cocaine, always remember, this is, you know, this is the one which is going to increase your dopamine levels. Okay, so always keep this in mind. This increases dopamine. And because of this, what kind of feeling you're going to get, guys? You are going to feel as if you are very happy, you are invincible, you are on the top of the world, you are like God, you are capable of doing any feat. That is the kind of feeling. Okay. So guys, if those people who commit robberies and all, you'll always find them high on cocaine. It's that way. Okay. So it increases your dopamine levels. Okay. So that makes you like happy, like extremely happy, or you feel you are invincible, or this is going to make you extremely angry, etc., etc., etc. Okay, but what is this cocaine in normal language called, in street language, guys? This is known as your coke. This is known as coke, or this is also known as crack. Okay, both the things, guys. Okay, but now what is this going to do, guys? So when we talk about your cocaine, once again, this affects your CNS, central nervous system, and it is going to make your body really alert. Okay, and makes you alert. Okay, so that is the thing that we need to know. Okay, but now, guys, apart from this, we have certain which is called as hallucinogens. Okay, hallucinogens are what, these are the ones which are going to give you like, a different this thing altogether. Like, you are going to see things which don't really exist. You are going to be like, like, all your fears and all which may come up. So guys, if you have ever watched that movie Batman, okay, in that the Joker, he releases a gas, or in cartoons, basically, if you have ever seen, he releases a poisonous gas kind of thing, which brings out your fears. People start seeing those things which do not really, exist. So even if there is a rope, a person may think that, oh, this is a snake. That is what happens, guys. Okay, so if we are talking about this, guys, okay, so who are we really talking about? Let me just uh, give you, guys. In the case of your hallucinogens, okay, we are going to have LSD, lysergic acid. Okay, this is known as lysergic acid diethylamide. Okay, very, very important, guys. Lysergic acid diethylamide. I will tell you a small story regarding this thing. Okay. Uh, then we have, like, from your Atropa belladonna. Okay, this is another one, Atropa belladonna. Okay, also we are going to have one more, that is your Datura species. Okay, their compounds are known to be like, hallucinogens, guys. Okay, so this is what we need to know with regards to this thing. And guys, there are others also, like, we have something that is called as sedatives. Sedatives, they are going to give you like a nice sleep. So who are we talking about? Once again, we have your barbiturates. Okay, so we have these barbiturates. Okay, and along with that, we are also going to have like your lysergic acid also comes out over there. Your Atropa belladonna, that is also going to come out. Datura is also going to come in that sedatives. So those are going to be in that case, guys. Okay, but now let's try to move ahead. So guys, this is what we need to know with regards to your drugs and where it is going to be obtained from. Okay, but once again, just have a look if everybody is okay with this thing. Okay, I will tell you a small story. Okay, that had happened. Okay, so guys, while I was doing my PhD, what happened was there was a girl in our lab. Okay, now this girl, she was going through some like, personal problems and issues and all. Okay, so things were not really good at her end. Okay, so one fine day, what happened was, like, this female. One minute, someone is, yeah. Okay. So now what happened was, this female, like she was going through loads of troubles. Like her personal life was a little in mess. Her family life was in mess. And then what happened was, guys, suddenly this female, she stopped coming to the lab. Okay, now this was a very nice person. She was a foreign national, but then she stopped coming to the lab. Okay, and then what happened, guys? After a couple of days or so, we came to know that she was in the hospital. Okay, fine. So we waited for her to recover and all. Then she came back, and then we asked her, what really happened? So she said that, what happened was she had got LSD from somewhere. Okay, and she tried LSD, but the thing was she took an overdose of LSD. And what happened was after taking LSD, she was flat on her bed. And for the next 2 3 days, she was just like that. She was just sleeping. She was not getting up, nothing. She was just completely at rest. And guys, her brother at that time, her brother used to stay with her. So her brother was like, so concerned and all that, immediately he took her and he put her into the hospital. Then the hospital people, they revived her, and then she came back to life. That was the kind of thing. Okay, so you never know, guys, how much dose you're taking. You have no clue about it at all. So always make sure that whenever matlab, you should not take drugs only, but even if by any chance you're taking, then you need to know what is the real right dosage. Okay, otherwise this can result into death of the person. Okay. Okay, chalo. But now, guys, let's try to see. Okay, now the next thing is, once again, how is addiction going to happen, and how are you really going to, how will you be forced into dependence? So, as I said, guys, once again, how is it going to really start? It is going to start with one try. Okay, so one puff, or maybe one sip of alcohol, or maybe one just a small snout of, your cocaine. Okay, it is just going to start as fun. Okay, so that one of your friends is going to offer you, and then you're going to just try it. But then what happens is, guys, when you try that duck, suddenly you feel that, oh my god, this is like amazing. Like I told you guys, what happened with me with regards to Otterville. Exactly the same thing, guys. You're going to feel, oh my god, the feeling is so good. I really enjoy it. So the same thing, guys. Now what happens? Your body wants that feeling again and again, again and again, again and again. But now what happens? See, when you take the drug for the first time, your body has no prior experience, right? So the high that you get is really, really top notch, because earlier your body had no idea. But now what happens, guys? Your body knows that, oh, after I take this drug, I get this feeling. But next time when you take the drug, are you going to get the same feeling? No, because now your body has already known what the feeling is, how that euphoria is. So now what happens, guys? Now you'll be like, okay, okay, I'll take some more. Okay, fine. But still you don't achieve that high. Okay, then you try for some more. Once again, you don't get that high. Then what happens, guys? Slowly, 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 you come to know that, oh my God, you're already addicted to the drug, because you have been trying it to reach the high. And now what happens, guys? Every time, every time, meaning, it's not going to happen immediately, but as you move ahead, every time, guys, the amount of dosage that you require will keep on increasing, because slowly your body is going to have tolerance to that thing. So amount of drug being consumed also increases. Okay, but fine, let's say, guys, okay, you have been a drug addict, and now you are like, no, I will get rid of the drugs. But then, is that going to be really easy? No, it is not going to be easy, guys. Once you are addicted, once you are dependent upon something, then unless and until you don't consume drugs, until then your body is not going to work properly. Guys, have you ever heard that some people, they require alcohol for a proper functioning of the body, especially those people who work in the morgues and all? You'll always find them drunk. Why? Because it is a habit that, no, if they have to work with dead bodies, they have to be in that mental state that nothing is going to affect them that way. So guys, that becomes a habit, and then it becomes difficult to get rid of it. And let's imagine, even if you get rid of it, guys, you are going to experience withdrawal symptoms, what we call it as withdrawal symptoms. Okay, so in that case, like, suddenly you are going to have irritation, or maybe you are going to have tremors in the body. Sorry. Or maybe you are going to have, like, slurred speech. Okay, all these kind of side effects. Okay, side effects because you have suddenly left the usage of drug, that is going to come up into your body, guys. Okay, so that is known as withdrawal symptom. Okay, but now, guys, see, people may have been addicted to, your different kinds of drugs and all, but is it always going to be like, people who are like, normal people, or like people who want to enjoy? No, it is not always that way. Sometimes drugs can also be your performance booster drugs, meaning they can be used to increase your abilities. And guys, for example, if you know, we have steroids. So many of the sprinters, athletics, we have gymnasts, they take these steroids. Why? Because it can boost their performance. There are so many of these bodybuilders, guys, who take steroids and suddenly their body becomes like really huge. Guys, let me tell you, the effect of steroids is like, really, really nice. Like, a person who has no proper body, but if you inject steroids into him, guys, suddenly you will develop so much of muscle mass, and you will have nice, nice build and all. You will be like, oh my God, this is like a wonder drug. But that is where things go wrong, guys. A person who has, taken steroids to make his body, now he's hooked onto it, because every time you feel that, oh, और थोड़ा लेगा तो और थोड़ा body अच्छा बनेगा, और थोड़ा अच्छा दिखेगा, मैं भी ऋतिक रोशन. Guys, that is what is going to happen. Okay, and slowly, slowly, you are going to see that you are completely consumed into it. Every now and then you have to go and you have to take injections. Okay, so that is what the problem actually is, guys. Okay, so like I said, these bodybuilders and all, they are going to take something that we call it as anabolic steroids. So immediately you will see that the muscles and all, they develop. In fact, the females also take, like female bodybuilders, they are going to take anabolic steroids only, in which suddenly now they become very masculine. Okay, they have, like, they get all the muscle textures and all, and plus you're going to see that now they become like, more man like. Okay, if you have ever seen female bodybuilders, you will come to know that, those, though they don't have that feminine nature as such. Okay, they are more like manly in that way. So that is it. So not always it is going to be that, you have it for fun. Some people can have drugs for performance boosting abilities. Okay. And finally, guys, once again, when we talk about your prevention, what is the prevention? Guys, always remember, prevention is better than cure. So, first of all, right from this, your starting point of life, you should be, told that, these things are wrong. You should never do it. You should never explore that part of life as such. Okay, so man, once again, guys, like I said, it is going to be the job of the parents to look after you. It is going to be the job of the people who are besides you, maybe your uncles, aunts, maybe siblings, maybe, your grandparents. These are the ones who are going to keep an keen eye onto you, and then only you are going to see that, guys, you will not take the wrong path, and you are going to sail through this entire period of uncertainty. Okay, so that's it. That is what we need to know with regards to your entire chapter, guys. Okay, so this is what we need to know with regards to your human health and diseases. Guys, the last part, it is mostly like, a story kind of a thing, like whatever I talked about. Okay, so the last part, what I would suggest is just read through the textbook. It's the same thing they have kept on ranting again and again, again and again, again and again. Okay, so just go through the last part, guys, and if there are any doubts, anything you wish to ask from that, then there is no issue. Okay, guys, just have a look. Once again, Neha, right? Neha wanted to ask me something. Okay, so it is, so can you just go ahead and ask me? Okay, I will stop the recording. Yeah. Okay.